talking about music today. I'm probably never doing it again though, cause this will no doubt get claimed despite my very sincere plea to YouTube earlier. Though it doesn't really matter, cause at the moment I can't monetize anything anyway, but I'm afraid that some dickhead music studio out there might straight up prevent the video from being shown, and editing around that is a pain in the ass, so yeah. The second reason is because I know next to nothing about music, and it's incredibly important to keep this in mind. So in recent years, I've grown to love orchestral music, in particular original soundtrack or OST composed for movies. But let's back up for a moment, and stick with me here. My interest in music only really began when I became a teenager in 2010, the year most commonly remembered for being the time when the world was trying to recover from one of the worst economic crashes in history. And also it's the year when Cholololo came out, which, by the way, memes aside, it's actually quite pleasant to listen to. And my musical diet was very much shaped by the pop scene. I'm talking about One Republic, Coldplay, Maroon 5, Mumford & Sons. Shut up. Back then, I used to hate orchestral music. I thought they were the most boring thing in the world. You see, I didn't grow up in a musical family. My parents didn't play anything, and my brother wouldn't pick up the violin until some years later. And me personally, there was a time in which I learned the recorder because my school forced us, but beyond that, nothing. And I think that experience of the school making me learn an instrument and songs that I didn't care for turned me away from learning music for a long time. Fast forward to the year of 2017 and wait, what the fuck happened in 2017? Oh yeah, Salt Bay. That was funny. Oh Jesus Christ! I know, yeah, it was my first year of uni. It's like something clicked in my head. So my best friend in high school introduced me to old-timey rock music, but only then did I get it. My university library had a pretty large collection of CDs, so despite not having Spotify back then, I still had access to records from the Beatles, Bowie, Stones, Lou Reed, Beach Boys. It was heaven. And this blooming love for rock music made me want to learn an instrument so bad, so I chose the guitar. Oh yeah, look at me playing. Just kidding, that's just a stock footage. You know something they don't tell you when you start learning an instrument? Is that you start listening better as well. I mean, you kinda have to. You have to know when you're playing the wrong notes and stuff. This sounds obvious, but I've seen someone say to me she could barely distinguish the differences in sound when I played her different guitar chords. Anyway, this heightened awareness from music that I was playing carried over to the music that I was listening to. My appreciation for music in general was growing. But I didn't gravitate towards the legendary classical composers. Instead, I listened to what I know, music from movies that I love. I'm talking about John Williams, Hans Zimmer, Joe Hisaishi, Smash Mouth. Remember what I said earlier about me thinking orchestral music was boring? Now I know why that is. Back then, when I was musically illiterate and alien to orchestral music, it was hard for me to elicit any form of emotional response from these pieces. Songs with lyrics are easy. I mean, you have the lyrics right there telling you exactly what the songs are about and what you're supposed to feel. And this is precisely why movie soundtracks are the perfect gateway drug, especially with the OST from movies you already love. These songs carry with them the emotional baggage from their respective movies, so if you already love the movie, it's very easy to also love the music. The OST that I'm listening to at the moment, as I'm writing this, is from the movie Knives Out, which I adore. I may not know music theory, but I know what this music makes me feel. Take the song The Thromby theme. So in case you've never seen this movie, there are no spoilers here, but I'll tell you the synopsis. Knives Out is a whodunit where someone dies and that's probably a killer. Isn't that right, Mr. Bond?
I suspect foul play.
Sure you do, James. Anyway, the Thromby theme is just a gorgeous piece of music. And this is as perfect as themes go. So there are two distinct layers to this piece, the drumming and the pianoing. Listen to the drums. There are several different drum beats throughout this song as if each one represents a different character. And much like the characters in the movie, these drum patterns can sound very discordant at times. It's like no one beat ever really took center stage because another one would just cut it short. There's this feeling of a lack of satisfaction and resolve because no one drumming pattern ever takes center stage and says its piece. Of course, being a whodunit, from the beginning there was red herring after red herring, just like there were drum beats after drum beats, each concealing the other, never managing to say the full truth. Then there's the piano, the one prevailing instrument in this entire piece. At first, it sort of has this melancholy feel to it, but not really. It never quite goes to that realm of sadness. This perfectly mirrors the movie. It's a murder mystery. A character dies in the beginning. But the movie said, wait, don't feel sad just yet. There's so much more to this death than meets the eyes. I hope you get the idea. Every time I listen back to this movie soundtrack, I get transported back to that mysterious and ornate mansion in the countryside, where the sky is gloomy and the season is autumn, and oh, what are you doing there, Mr. Bond?
It is not a donut hole, but a smaller donut with its own hole. And our donut is not a hole at all.
Oh yeah, keep talking about donuts. Even if you're not into orchestral music in general, you probably still love soundtracks from Star Wars, Harry Potter, Spirited Away, Shrek. The emotions from these movies are carried over whenever you listen back to the music, and that's just a really unique experience. So, the next time you watch an especially fantastic movie, rewind and listen.